Hello, I hope you all had a really nice spring break. And now we are ready to get back to Algebra 2. And today we're going to be learning about sequences. Now, I want you to know that I have the notes for this written out in longhand and posted on Canvas. So some of you might prefer to follow along with those rather than what I write. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe you can listen to the recording of my voice saying this and then look at the longhand version when you need to reference back to it. So do what works best for you. And always remember, I'm here to answer your questions. So let's get started. Sequences are what we are looking at today, and a sequence is just a list of numbers that's in a particular order. You can think of it like a pattern. They can be finite. That means they come to an end. So maybe I could have a sequence that goes 7, 9, 11, 13, and that's it. If I stop there, that would be a finite sequence because it ended. Or if I put a dot, dot, dot at the end, that means it's going to keep going like that. So that would be an infinite sequence. So for some symbolism, the 7 is the first term in our sequence. So we generally refer to that as A sub 1. So it's my first term, so it's got a subscript of 1. The 9 is the second term, so that's A sub 2. A sub 3, A sub 4. So you can tell where you're at in the sequence by looking at the subscript number. So if we have an infinite sequence that goes 7, 9, 11, 13, I wonder what's going to come next. Can we predict what's going to happen? Can we see how this pattern is growing? That's what we're going to be looking at with sequences. So if we study this previous example here, we can see from 7 to 9, it grows by adding 2. And then from 9 to 11, it also grows by adding 2. And from 11 to 13, it adds 2. So guess what's going to happen next when we go from our fourth term to our next term, which would be A sub 5, it's going to add 2. So any guesses? Any guesses what's going to come next? A 15! Good job! So A sub 5 would equal 15. If you wanted to find A sub 6, guess what that would be? Add 2 to it, and you would get 17. So you can find some missing terms that way. You can kind of think of this like a function. So whatever term I'm looking for, if I'm looking for some unknown term, we can call that A sub n. I should have said that. So n tells you what term you're on. That's what the subscript is. And A sub n is the value of the sequence. So I could take the sequence and say that the first term is a 7, and the second term is a 9, and the third term is an 11, etc. So that should feel real familiar to you because you've been doing functions like that since 8th grade math. So hopefully your 8th grade math teacher talked about them a few times. And yes, so now here's some new terminology for you. Just a second.